Hey there, welcome to this deep dive. Today, our mission is to, figure out how we can navigate the complex structures of our lives, like our routines, our careers, our
Yep. Right,
societies.
the stuff we build to help us function.
Exactly. But how to do that without feeling um, completely suffocated by them. And we are pulling insights today from a really fascinating primary source. It's called An Architect's Dilemma: Creating Systems Without Losing the Soul, by a debut author, Arun Kumar Chokkappa.
Yeah, and what I love about this book is that it acts as more of a mirror of questions rather than a rigid instruction manual.
Oh, totally. It's for anyone who feels like the systems they inhabit are just kind of louder than their own internal clarity. I mean, think about building a house for a second.
Yep.
You put up walls for shelter, right? To keep the rain out.
Sure, yeah, to protect yourself.
Right. But if you get so obsessed with fortifying the house that you, board up the windows and
Lock the doors from the outside?
yes, you lock the doors
Mhm.
from the outside. I mean, that shelter isn't protecting you anymore. It's literally a cage.
Wow, yeah. And we do this mentally and structurally all the time, don't we?
We really do. And the book outlines this central tension between three roles we play in these systems: the actor who performs, the observer who reflects, and the architect who designs.
Right, the three personas.
Yeah. But, I mean, I have to push back just a little bit here. Don't we sort of need to just play the actor
Not,
sometimes?
oh, absolutely.
Like, if I'm trying to get through a super busy Tuesday and just clear out my inbox, I don't have the mental bandwidth to be an architect. I just, I need to perform.
That is a very fair point.
Yeah.
And it's actually where the author's background becomes really vital to understanding the mechanics of all this.
Right.
So Chokkappa actually holds a master's degree in neuroscience from the University of Madras.
Wait, really? Neuroscience?
Yeah, so he knows that your brain actually loves when you play the actor. It builds these highly efficient neural pathways for our routines so we don't expend energy overthinking every single task.
Oh, right. It's like our mental autopilot. It literally saves calories.
Exactly. It saves calories.
Yes.
That is the system working perfectly. The breakdown only happens when the environment around us changes, but our system just doesn't.
Ah. So when the rules become more important than the meaning.
Right. When a system starts to fail, the human tendency, which is usually driven by our ego, is to grip tighter. We try to enforce the old rules even when they stop making sense.
Like micromanaging instead of, fixing the actual problem.
Yes. And that's when control completely eclipses care. You become trapped in the actor role, just blindly running this obsolete, frustrating program.
I see. So how do we actually transition out of that? Like, how do we awaken the architect without just, I don't know, drawing up a whole new set of rigid, exhausting rules?
Well, it requires a deliberate shift from the actor to the observer. You have to consciously pause and interrupt that ingrained neural loop.
Okay, so the observer steps in, but they don't actually fix anything yet.
Exactly. The observer doesn't fix anything. They simply notice that the current routine is causing friction. Only once you've stepped out of the loop can the architect finally step in.
But without the ego this time.
Right. Here is the critical philosophical shift. The awakened architect doesn't design through ego or micromanagement. They design to foster the flow of life.
That makes so much sense. Like, instead of forcing a workflow into submission, the architect steps back and asks, well, how do I build a structure that actually serves the people operating inside it?
Precisely. A successful architect designs a system that balances clarity with a release of control. It's about building legacies that endure precisely because they don't require your constant ego-driven intervention to keep functioning.
It makes complete sense why his own outreach is so minimalist. He self-publishes under an imprint called Teaching Taurus.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he describes it as a quiet space for soul work, which initially it seems wild to think of a neuroscientist writing about soul work.
It does sound like a contradiction at first.
Right, but when you explain it as intentionally rewiring our rigid, ego-driven neural pathways to restore flow, it totally clicks.
It really bridges the gap between empirical science and deep philosophy. It challenges us to design our lives with profound simplicity and ethics, rather than brute force.
Well, bringing this back to you listening right now, we want to leave you with a challenge to apply this today.
Yeah, take a hard look at a system in your own life.
Exactly. It could be your morning routine or, how your team handles a project at work. Ask yourself, is this system currently fostering the flow of your life, or is it just a cage built to control